Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to look at the Skoda Kodiaq. It has a couple of features which are very unique. So let's get into the video. So let's turn on the vehicle, and now the car is on. You see the 8-inch display, the dual zone climate control and all of that. Now let's see what the display does. So on the steering, which is a two-spoke steering, you have the infotainment controls here and the instrumentation cluster controls here. So if I want to change something, I can actually change the way the font looks via this, or I can even click this part where we can see the map and all of it comes out. So I'm controlling this from here. So you can decide which view you want, and then according to that you can see. So if you click this button here, it takes care of the cruise control and the speed limiter. So these are the two features which it has. This car does not have ADAS. It has driver drowsiness detector. So that's one feature which it has. So this is that instrument cluster when it comes to the steering. Now here you have the auto headlight control, which is there, off, on and all of that. Then this part is obviously the mirrors. So you can control the mirrors from here. Then you have this part, which is the basic part. You can refer to the other video which I made where I spoke about all of this. So I'll link it in the I icon above, or the links in the description. You can check that out. I frankly like this control over here, which has got physical knobs. So that's really good. Apart from that, it's a very bright, nice 8-inch display, which is really high resolution. So that's a good thing altogether. Now you have navigation over here, so you can choose what destination you want to go to, and the car can obviously navigate, and the same thing will come here. Apart from that, you have this app thing where you have these two controls for Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. If you have multiple phones, it will all come up here. You have an info button where you can connect your car and download everything and all of that. So that's all good. It's all here. It's like a tablet. Now with respect to the car, you have the vehicle status, then you have tire pressure monitoring. This has to be set, but once you do it, you will get all these things per tire. You will get everything over here, so that's good. Apart from that, you have the selection part where you have virtual cockpit. So in this part, this is particularly interesting because if I change this, if I change anything out of here, automatically it gets updated here. So this is basically controlled. This part is controlled from here. So if I want the range, that's the range. Then this is the driving time, which it shows here. Then you have distance covered, so 8 kilometers since the start. All of that, consumption, so it will give you the average. Now don't concentrate on the average because that's not the real average. 4.7 kilometers per. Yeah, so when you start driving it, automatically this will get updated. Like from 4.7 it dropped to 4.6. Now if you look at this part, you can even choose here in terms of if you want the range part. So that's 340 over there, driving time, all of it. So it can be controlled from here. So that's how this works. Now in terms of, if I go into further selection, then you have driving data where you can see since the start of the vehicle, how much distance did you travel, what was the fuel economy and all of that. Then you have long term. Now you see the actual average, which is at 7.5 kmpl, and I think for a 2-liter turbo petrol engine, this is a good average for this size of a car. So that's good. It has been driven 938 kilometers. Now since refueling, these are the numbers. So all of that is given here. Now you can also go down to vehicle selection, or vehicle status, what we had seen earlier. So all of that comes into the picture. Now if I go on to off-roading button here, you have the compass which is there, you have the elevation, and you have the coolant temperature. So all these details are here. You can even change this if you want, like what is the direction of the tire. So if I turn this, you'll be able to see what is the turning radius of the car. You'll get it in degrees, so that is there. You can even change this part. So all of that is there. They all three signify something, so you can have whatever you require when you're off-roading. Now if you go into settings, now this is where you get everything which you can do with the car. So you have the electronic stabilization system which is there. You can decide what you want. So if you want the traction control off, you can have that. If you want a sport mode, you can even activate that. Now tires. Now this car, because of its segment, it can actually set the suspension to a certain level depending upon what the drive mode is. So that's very nice. Apart from that, you can even choose the ambient lighting. So with regards to what is the sensitivity, all of that, you can even control the lighting. So all of that is there with this car. Then you have parking and maneuvering. As I said earlier, you can check that video. You can actually park this car. The car parks on its own with the buttons here, so you can do that. You have to just press this and this part where you get this and the car starts parking on its own. So it says that you can just put it in reverse gear and it should start parking. Let me turn that off. So that all is here. Apart from that, you have the background lighting, which is the ambient lighting. So you can set the color. Now I have set it to blue, so you will be able to maybe not make out right now because it is too bright over here, but this is how it looks. There is lighting over here as well and all across the car. So all of that is there. You can even set it according to maybe to automatic, depending upon what situation you are in. Then you have mirrors and wipers. You can choose what you want. Obviously automatic rain sensing wipers are there. Then you have door closing. So all of these things are there in this car, which will really you will benefit because of all these things. A lot of comfort. Then in terms of service, you have this vehicle registration number. I have blurred it out, but all of that is there. It will tell you when the oil change is required, when the inspection is required. All of that comes into the picture. So this is with respect to the vehicle settings. Now let's go on to the next one. So this is the menu. You have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, so that's there. You have media, navigation, assistance and all of that. Let's go on to assistance. So now these are all assistance system. As I said, there is driver drowsiness alert, so that's really good. If you want any kind of alerts, the steering will vibrate if the car thinks that you're driving too much. So that's there. Apart from that, you have vehicle. Again, coming back to the same section. So all of this is there. Now let me give you a glimpse of the 12 speaker system. We'll hear it for some time, and then you can also decide what you want to do. It has got this Canton system which I had said about in my earlier video. So you'll be able to see all of that. You'll be able to even set the levels of the equalizer. So you have subwoofer level, bass, mid bass, all of that. So it's completely really good. Then let's go on to this one. You can even set the position. So you have Dolby Pro Logic, surround sound, sound focus, all of that is there. So if the driver wants to listen to a certain amount of music, or the rear passengers, they can do that. It's there. Then you can obviously set volumes of everything, even the clicking sounds, separate volumes for that. Then you have settings. As I said, you can set all of this. Oh yes, audio hand gesture. So if you have like Mercedes has it in their E-Class and S-Class. If you want to increase the volume with audio gestures, that is also there. Okay, so I've turned on this sound. I'll be muting it in the middle for obviously copyright. Now let me increase the volume. So you get volume control. So you could hear that subwoofer cracking in over there. There is a very good, amazing sound which comes from the speaker setup from 12 speakers. You also have a lot of bass which comes with the sound. So if you go on a long drive and you want to listen to good music, this car has got really good music. As I said, you can even see in terms of you can control the audio, which is pretty good. It has even speed sensing volume control. So if you're increasing the speed of the car, you can increase the volume gets increased automatically, so you do not get any wind noises, etc. That's a good feature to have. Apart from that, this is the entire setup. Now there are more things, like you have all these quick things which you can put over here in terms of what you want to do. Suppose if you want navigation or something, this can come here. Any car notifications, that can come over here. So this is a good thing to have overall. Apart from that, you can even control the air conditioning system from here. So like I said, if you click on the ventilated seats, you get this over here. So this can be controlled. You can even switch it off. So that's completely connected. Apart from that, these are the controls which you get in terms of the temperature setting. So apart from the buttons, it also comes here, which is the triple climate or 3 climate setup which is there. So you have 1, 2 and the third one at the back. You can even choose what you want to do in terms of the rear. So if you want a lower temperature, you can do that. You can control the air purifying system like that. So you can also control the rear passenger. If you have kids sitting, you can have a child lock, like a feature which is there. If you want to lock the temperature so that they cannot fiddle with it. In my previous video, you must have seen the button, so definitely check that out. Apart from that, you get air vents everywhere. So even in the rear seats, you get air vents on your feet as well. So it's not that it will work from here. There is a separate airway which comes. So you have almost, I think, about 4, 5, 6, 7 directions of air coming in at you. So if you want it hot or cool, that should be fine. That is not a problem. Okay, so you can set the air AC profile also of how you want it, medium air, high air, all of that is there. Now in terms of the clicky buttons, this is only in terms of the volume, so you can set that up. Apart from that, this is the entire infotainment system. So it is more than an infotainment system, because it's not only in terms of your audio and visual things, it is also all of these controls which are present here. So I think that's a really good touch which Skoda has added. So with this, we are at the end of the video. The video was getting a little too long, so there will be a part 2 of this. There are tons of features in this car which we haven't explored yet. So do subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and don't forget to like the video. Do comment below if you want any suggestions with respect to this car or any other car. And as usual, thanks for watching.